All right, my friends, welcome to episode 3 of the RPG Backlog podcast, where we are talking about Undertale. It is our third discussion about Undertale. This time in Undertale, we are talking about, if I remember correctly, and I just lost my table of contents. Oh, that's a shame. Is it Hotland? We're all through Hotland and the core. Exactly, yeah. Yep. Hotland and the core. I think last time we said we would just do Hotland, and then we went through Hotland and the core all the way through to the final battle with Metaton. So that's what we took care of during this section. So Scott, what are your thoughts on this whole piece we just went through?
It was fun. I think, definitely when you start off, you go into the Alphys's lab.
Alphys or something?
Alphys, yeah. And then you meet the quiz robot that she accidentally programmed to be a human hunting killer, Metaton. And then, of course, as you go through the zone, Metaton frequently pops up with cooking shows and bomb finding news segments and other bizarre little mini games before the final battle. Metaton was a lot of fun. I thought.
Yeah, there were lots of little puzzles, little mini games. I felt like there was a lot of little interventions, especially with Alphys on the cell phone. Man, it was like there were certain points where it's just like, stop calling me every 3 feet. It was every three steps or whatever. But yeah, I thought that opening quiz was really interesting. I think as we progress through Undertale, every battle, quote unquote, is just so different. And that's, introducing a quiz later when we get to the end, and Metaton is in its final form, basically. That's very interesting. This game just continues to surprise me, and I know it's stood out to people for a long time for a lot of reasons, and now I'm starting to really unpack what those are, which is just, I think I had a very different experience than you did in some areas, and I've had a very different experience playing this game than other role-playing games based on just some of these things you come across. Although I found some of the puzzles, I liked them. The shooting, there was that shoot puzzle where you had to move blocks out of the way and you had a certain number of bullets to get to the other side kind of thing.
Yes, that was very simple.
Yeah, and I found most of the puzzles simple in a way that was actually kind of gratifying. I could complete it, which was nice, so I wasn't complaining too much. But it felt like there was a variety of ideas that the Toby Fox maybe was trying.
Right, the puzzles are not so hard. It's not a puzzle game, but they're there and they require a little bit of thought to get through this thing. You beat them and you're like, oh wow, I beat it. I feel great.
Yeah, and I like that it breaks up the combat, right? There's not too much. I think early on we talked about at least my dislike of random encounters. So it breaks up that a little bit. And then the cooking show, as you mentioned, was just getting the ingredients, and then there's a chainsaw that comes out, right? He tries to chainsaw you, and then Alphys stops Metaton, I believe. I believe that's what my experience was, at least. I don't know if that's the same one that everyone had. But I remember I remember chainsaw.
And there's that, and there's one where you had to go to the top of the tower or the top of the stack before time ran out with a jetpack or something.
Yeah, that's right. You had to get to the top. I got to the top of that tower, and I don't know what happens if you don't get. I did it my first try, but I made it with a second left, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Right. Even if it doesn't kill you, the timer creates that sense of urgency.
Yeah, that tension, exactly.
Right. So that when you get it, even if it's just barely. You're like, "Oh, it just barely made it." Even it might be rigged. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I missed something, or I messed something up, and it should have run out, but somehow time didn't quite run out.
Interesting.
I think I got to the end. Or maybe I just misunderstood what was going on, but yeah, I feel like it might have been rigged a little bit.
Well, it's super effective because it was nowhere before on any path that I've been on, and then maybe it comes later, but to do it just one time, have a timer like that, is pretty interesting. Adds that level of tension that wasn't elsewhere.
And then there's the news segment where he Metaton passes it to you in the field, and There's all the different objects. You have to like find which one's the bomb, and they're all bombs.
Oh,
And then you have to defuse the bombs.
yeah, that's right. Right, yeah, because that was another timed section as well, where you're going through. There was like a bunch of conveyor belts and different pieces of land or whatever, and you're trying to go. And I think I also did that one with like I felt like at the last seconds. Maybe it is rigged a little bit like that to make it feel that way.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious when I was going through. I wanted to look at like each item because he said something about each item as you clicked on it.
Right.
And then I clicked the wrong button on one of them that caused the whole bomb thing to turn up. And I was like, oh shoot! I wanted to see what he would say about all of the items. And I just happened to pick the one that was a bomb. But then he reveals that they're all bombs. I was like, wait a minute, there's a dog there. Like, no, the dog's a bomb too.
The dog's a bomb too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This game is full of those like huge and small surprises. Like even like one of the battles in this section was just a plane, a Sunder plane.
Plane.
It's like where the hell? What? Like I thought they were all monsters down here. There's a freaking airplane.
It's an airplane monster.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's delightful in all of those big and small surprises, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
To me. I think that's most. Was that most of Hotland?
Yeah, I don't quite remember where the dividing line was. Maybe it was Muffet.
Oh, you know what? It was Muffet, because then after Muffet, which is the spider at the end of Hotland, if I recall correctly, you go to the resort, and the resort is where you can kind of
enter the core.
Yeah, but you can like rest there. There's stuff you can buy. Stock up on food.
Yeah.
I remember there being a key that you could buy, but it was really expensive.
Yeah, a mystery key.
Yeah, I didn't have 600 gold for that.
I bought it, and I don't think I found a use for it.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it'll be useful later, or maybe I just missed whatever it was used for. Maybe it was just a red herring that is there to get you to spend some
right,
gold.
like that. What was that relic we got last time where it turned into nothing?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right, the legendary relic.
Yeah, exactly.
The dog takes over.
Yeah, and you have like I forget, like junk in your inventory.
Yeah. So with Muffet, the spider boss.
Yeah, let's dig into that.
You like right away use like a spider donut food item from way back in the ruins. You got.
Yeah, so I bought the spider donut. I used it pretty quickly. And then somehow, I think when I backtracked at some point, I bought it again. So I had it with me. And then when that fight started, I believe at the beginning of the fight, I was low on HP, or my HP was down. I have the video up here, so let me see if I can find where that was at.
I watched the stream. I remember that it seemed like you used it like right away, or maybe the second turn.
I did use it right away, yeah.
And it's totally short-circuited the whole fight.
And it was
where she's like, "Oh, you are a patron of our spider bakery. Then I will not fight you, and you can go on."
Well, she was like, "How dare you steal that from us?" And then this little spider or whatever comes in with
it comes up
or a telegram. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I think in the last two sections, Hotland and Core, after having that podcast with you last time, where you're like, "Hey, yellow means." Spare. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to use other stuff. Like, I was pissed when I used the donut because I didn't think I was going to eat it. I thought I was going to do something, and then I ate it, and it just it gave me HP or whatever. I was like, damn it! I was trying to use it, and then as the dialogue continues, I'm like, oh my god, it got me out of this fight. That was like a complete surprise to me, which was really cool.
Yeah, it was a complete surprise to me too because it was a pretty tough fight and pretty long and involved. So I had bought those donuts as well, like way back in the beginning of the game, but I had eaten all of them. I'd used them at some point, so I didn't even have them anymore. And then she, like the whole fight, so it starts off where she like complains about how you like didn't spend the money, because before you meet her, you come to like another spider bake sale.
And it was really expensive.
The prices are like, you can't pay them. It's impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you come up and she's like, why didn't you buy our baked goods? And there's an option under the act menu to give her money. And I did that, and every time you do it, like the increases. Oh. And I would keep doing it like round after round after round after round, but it didn't seem to actually do anything. I ended up dying. Like I'm here furiously like giving her my gold, like here, take my gold, take my gold, take my gold. And then but then she killed me. And so I came back the second time and I was like, okay, well, that doesn't work. I have to do something else. And the second time, I think I was actually trying to beat her, like physically, because it didn't seem like anything else was doing anything.
Right.
And I wasn't able to do that, but I was able to survive long enough so that it gets to the point where the little spider comes on with the receipt or whatever from the original bake sale. Mm-hmm. And then she says, oh, sorry.
You're the wrong one. I didn't mean to battle you.
Like,
oh my gosh.
It's like, oh, okay, you really are a customer. Okay, you can go on. I was like, what? But it's a really involved fight. Like she has this like this purple mode, which I don't think I've seen before or since, where you have like 3 bars, and you can only move on those bars. So you can like move, you could hop up to like lower or hop like you could hop to the higher bar, the lower bar, or the middle bar, and you can move back and forth on the bars. But that's all you can do. You're like constrained otherwise. And then she like throws croissant boomerangs at you. Or bouncing donuts that like bounce off the edges of the little heart square, and then every so often, I think like every couple turns, her pet spider will start to devour the square, like the little square that your heart's in that you move around in. Mm-hmm. Oh, the spider appears like a giant spider and starts like munching on the box, and the box like tilts to the side. And you start sliding down like towards the spider's mouth. You have to like, make sure you don't fall in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. I mean, it sounds terrible, like hard, but like that, man, sounds very different than the other ones, the other battles.
I know, like I said before, like every single battle is like a whole different, puzzle, or like the battles are a puzzle.
Yeah.
Or a mini game.
It's like it's a puzzle, and it's also like a bullet hell, right? Like you've got to avoid all the shit coming at you, but also you have to figure out like, okay, what's the thing? Like Mettaton, like we later, you can't physically attack Mettaton. You've got to like flip him around and hit a switch to then get him into his final form. Like it's at least Alphys is there to call you and tell you that. You don't always get hints like that.
I had so much trouble with that fight too, because I'm not good at avoiding the damage. Mm-hmm. So with like the final form, you have to get the ratings up to a certain point in the battle.
Yeah, did you know that like ahead of time, or did you have any idea about that?
I mean, I figured it out. So like when you pick, I think when you pick Boast, then you get like a bonus, but then you also get like you see a little green thing that appears that says like, drama plus 150 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But then like the boast is like you boast that you'll never get hit. You won't get hit this turn.
Exactly.
And every time you get hit, there's like a red thing appears that says, "Oh, you took damage minus 100."
Yep.
So then I was seeing like the numbers typically kind of going up, but not as fast as my health was going down. And I was like, "Oh, that must be the way that you solve it." So like then if you do the lower left one, I don't remember which one it was. That gives you a bonus no matter what, but if the more wounded you are, the bigger the bonus is.
Pose. Yeah,
pose,
it was like,
yes, pose.
Yeah, it was like guaranteed, but not as much. Well, then as the battle goes on, like there feels like there's different phases of puzzle where like there's bombs coming down, and it took me a while to figure it out. But like shoot it and then move out of the way because it's going to. Yeah, it did not figure that out. Right,
there's so many different phase, like different attack modes he has, or different phases. Like there's the bombs, there's like those knife things. There's the
the knives that come in from the side. Absolutely,
yeah, I hate those things.
That's what killed me. I felt like I was almost to the end. I didn't know what the number was at that point, so I probably wasn't. And then I just got knifed. I was so low on health. But at least
like every time I try to avoid them, I always fail. Like I don't know. Like you shoot it, it moves out of the way like a little bit, but I never time it right. Yeah, and then there's the like kind of like a bar that has like a little yellow thing going back and forth on it. And there's like the heart mode where he's like spitting out like these spirals of objects from his.
Yep, you gotta avoid them all
Heart.
and shoot the heart, and then like so
Yeah.
you can like rip off his appendages basically. And then there's a part where like the bombs come down, and then you shoot whatever you can, and then it rewinds.
Oh, the rewind. Yeah.
Oh my
Rewind.
god!
There's
Yep.
a little flying metatons that come down and get to the bottom.
Yep.
They release objects. Like the whole thing is like there's so many different things. I have no idea which one's coming. There's like one round where it's like, oh, we'll take a commercial break now, and you have to there's no attacks, but otherwise it just. And I'm like so bad at it. Like every time I would get hit at least once.
Yeah.
I think part because I'm using a keyboard, not a controller, so it's not as.
Yeah, I feel like the controller is
intuitive.
Exactly.
But also, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know, bad reflex or something. Whatever.
But you also,
I wasn't very good at it, so I would die. Yeah. I fought it so many times, and finally, I went back to the burger joint in the resort. Mm-hmm. And I bought all their stuff,
all the health
and
stuff.
All the health items. Which is funny. I don't know if you used any of those in the battle.
I did. I used hot dogs. I had hot dogs from previous, like the nice cream and hot dogs. I think is what I had.
If you use the items from the Metaton food shop,
I didn't know
in the resort, you get points towards the ratings.
Oh, interesting. Because it's their.
Right, like it's like the crowd approves of this brand or whatever.
Oh, that's crazy!
And you get extra points. There's one that's like a steak in the shape of Metaton's face, which gets you like a lot of points, but there's only one of those. And there's like glam burgers, and those are worth like a couple hundred points. Mm-hmm. So they're like pretty big healing items, and also they kind of speed up the end state. But I bought I spent all my money. I had to clear out my inventory to make room for all the stuff.
Oh, sure.
And I ended up finally getting through, but I used like every single item.
Yeah.
The last one by accident, I was like going through all the little dialogue at the end, and I actually went like a hit item and clicked on the last food item I had left and used it. I was like, no, I didn't have to use that. The fight's over. But now I have no money and no healing items. Except for the instant noodles. I still have those.
Oh, I definitely ate those in this fight.
Those are pretty worthless.
It was a whole huge text experience, and then you get like 4 health or whatever. It's like, man, this game continues to just surprise me. I laughed so much. I've laughed so much at this game. It's unbelievable. I'm watching my replay right now, and I had 12 hit points left when I got to 10,000, and I was just like praying, please let 10,000 be hit, which was nice. It was.
Yeah. So yeah, it took me a while to get through that battle, just because there's so many different things, so many different attacks that are like really trying to screw you over, and I just had a hard time like avoiding the damage and making it through. So
yeah,
but finally did it. I got to the castle. I guess we have to fight Asgore next. Yeah,
Alphys keeps talking about Asgore. She followed us out to basically the castle. We went like black and, if I remember, we went like black and white. Black and white, new home.
It's very stark colors.
Yeah, so that's where we've stopped, and that's what's coming next.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I mean, before when we had the end of was that Snowden or the waterfall? Because you had killed Undine, and I had saved her.
Yep.
And I was wondering, like, how is it going to impact the story going forward? And it turns out it didn't really impact it at all.
It hasn't yet. I'm wondering if it will.
The way the game is set up, I've noticed that, like, the beginning, you have Toriel, you want to be a mom, and then she exits and she never comes back. And then in Snowden, you have Sans and Papyrus, who are hilarious. But sadly, like, they have not been involved that much since then.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Waterfall, you have Undine chasing you. That's like sort of like the through line of that section. Mm-hmm. And then Hotland, you meet Alphys and Metaton, and then they kind of carry you through to the last part. But yeah, I wonder, why can you go back to the previous zones? Like, I haven't seen like a real reason for that yet.
I'm wondering. I mean, I think what you just said made me think of that because I've been wondering the same thing. Like I've gone back and like it helped me because I missed a couple of things that I felt like I was locked out of, and I could go back. But you had mentioned going back and getting the burgers or whatever. I'm like, oh, is there, I've used most of my health items coming through this fight with Metaton, so I would need. I assume I can go back and stock up, but maybe there will be something in front of me. Based on just what's written in the guide, I think our next section is the last section in terms of titles. Like there's New Home is really it's New Home and Asgore, I think. So, I don't know how long it's going to be, but either there is health stuff to buy or there's not, and I don't know.
The typical RPG pattern would be that you'd expect there to be more shops up ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And a terrible final boss that's going to use all my health items that I need to restock. Right. Although maybe this will subvert it. I don't know. Maybe it will be nothing like that. I don't know.
I would appreciate that.
I think that'd be awesome. It would be great if that were true.
Right. I'm really curious because it says that, Alphys tells you at the end that you can't get home on your own, that you need to kill...
You need a monster soul, right? You need a monster soul.
Right, you need to kill Asgore and take his soul in order for you to get home. And then, from the monster's point of view, they have to kill you and take your soul
exactly
in order for them to escape. Just like a very zero-sum kind of situation.
Yeah, we don't both get to go.
Right. Or maybe they're wrong.
Yeah, maybe it's all smoke and mirrors up to this point, and that's not true. I'm going to find out tonight because when we're done podcasting, I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to continue
go all the way through.
Yeah, I'm going to start it. I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm going to try to beat the game. So you may see later on Discord and say, "Well, I did it," or "Oh shit, I didn't."
Right.
I don't know. But I hope there's a subversion in some way because that's kind of what the game's been doing so far. It hasn't really had that really typical. Nothing's been typical.
Right.
Nothing's been typical. I'm so in love with this game, and I'm so glad that I'm able to play through it with you and share the experience because it's so different what you're doing versus what I'm doing. And I do hope that the killing Undyne comes up. Say it again.
Not anymore. You're now following the path of peace.
Well, you have changed me for the better. Honestly, it made it way more interesting. I'm like, okay, I can spare these monsters. I can, approach this in a different way. That's why I ate the spider donut. I was like, okay, I'm facing a spider. I have a spider donut. If I eat this, something's going to happen. Either they're going to be real pissed at me and it's going to be real bad, or something good's going to. I have no idea. Let's see what happens. And then I'm so glad it was recorded because my reaction when that happened was just like, what the hell? It was so amazing.
I was like that too, just watching it. I was like, oh my God, you didn't have to fight? How is that possible?
You could just skip content of this game. It's quite interesting.
Also, it seems like, you actually have to be on the path of, like, the violence path. You can't
to get out,
kill Muffet. You can't kill Metaton. I guess there's the other monsters that you encounter as random encounters. You could kill the plane or the other things.
Yeah, the Froggets or whatever.
Yeah.
But we didn't kill Metaton, right? Did he die?
Right. She was just out of batteries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or he was, or
I don't know.
Kind of glam rocker.
Yeah, I love that final form. It's like a glam rock.
Or David Bowie kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like you said, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think that was my favorite fight, just because it was so varied throughout.
Oh man, that was so stressful for me.
I was going to ask,
because
you've talked about growing up playing computer games and not having consoles. I grew up with consoles, and it took me a while to learn how to use keyboard and mouse, but now I can do both just fine. But I could not play any game that is like in my head natively controller-based game. I cannot play on a keyboard. Like my friend played Hades all with a keyboard and mouse, and maybe you did too. I don't know. But I just can't imagine that. I need a controller.
Is that like a first-person shooter kind of game, or
no? It's a top-down isometric roguelike, moving around, quick movement.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
it's like Diablo, kind of.
Yeah, but way faster. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I when I touch the keyboard now, my fingers automatically just go to WASD.
WASD, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I'm so used to that, and that's what threw me off about Undertale too, is because Undertale doesn't use that as far as the keyboard controls go.
Oh yeah, what does it use? Does it use the arrows?
Yeah, it uses the arrow keys and ZXC.
Oh, okay.
So like it kind of mimics like a controller setup, I guess, but
backwards.
I'm using I guess my right hand is on the arrow keys.
Movement, yeah.
But I'm not used to that. I'm used to moving with my left hand or using the mouse.
I don't like computer games that put the movement on the arrow keys because I move with my left hand. Even on the controller, I move my left hand.
Right, that's where the joystick is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
So
maybe that's part of the reason why I've had like a hard time.
I would struggle. I'd be so screwed. So screwed. Could not do that.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope that in the last section, like I think you said before that, like maybe Undine comes back, or there's some see like the effects of our decisions.
Yeah, I'm hoping so as well. I'm hoping there's a very clear because we've seen so much of like you can kill, you can not kill. Like there's something there that has got to be made explicit at the end here, like almost like a judgment to get into heaven or whatever. Like you're at St. Peter's Gate and it's like, you've been bad, you're going to hell or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be that explicit, but it's got. I feel like that I have enough faith in what's been happening that they're going to cash in on all the checks they've written throughout this game.
I mean, I think the game, just as the progressive, has made it very clear, that the path of violence has consequences to these characters. I don't know if it needs to send you to hell on top of that to hit you over the head with it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's enough to just go and look at the Christmas presents and it's like, oh, it's for those 2 dogs. I wonder where they are. Oh my God, I feel like a terrible person. But I killed them too, so I mean, I was doing that also for the first while before that point, and then once I was like, oh, I guess I killed those dogs. I didn't think I was killing things. Mm-hmm. And then started to find other ways of getting out of battles. But yeah, I mean, I hope that stands and Papyrus come back. They were really the part that sold me on the game. Mm-hmm. And while the rest of it has been super enjoyable, I do kind of wish that they had been there throughout it somehow. Yeah, more in the game. Right. You can call Papyrus, and sometimes, depending on where you are, he'll say something about the area you're in, but you can go back to his house, why? But he's not there. Oh, that's annoying. Well, I ended up buying a Papyrus sticker for my booth where I record. Stickers to different things on my booth. I feel quite attached to that character too, mainly because it's probably one of the few that I didn't kill early on. That managed to leave that one alive. I don't know if you actually had a choice for that. But how would Papyrus in your game react finding out that you killed Undine, his
So far
idol?
He hasn't.
Right,
so, there's that moment where he's like, "Oh, you, me, and Undine should all hang out." Yeah. Okay, bud. But nothing's come of it since, Yeah,
that's why I hope that sort of thing gets followed up on before the game ends. Right. Fingers crossed. So you can feel even worse about your decisions. It's not going to take much to make me feel terrible. It's just going to record it for all posterity, my face. I'm just a terrible human, and this game is beating it into me that's the case. Yeah, you've had change of heart. You just need to somehow make amends for being a mass murderer. I wish that were true. What it was I'm just not very good at noticing details sometimes, and it took you to tell me, hey, remember when they said that and notice the thing? It's oh, wow, yeah, that's a thing, okay. Did not realize that, embarrassingly. Well, you're playing late at night, you've had a full day. That's just the realities of I like that gaming at our age. I like that explanation. I like it. I will stick with it, but also it's true, man. I start, my wife, my daughter goes to bed, and then my wife goes to bed right around now, and then I start gaming, and I'm, up till 11, and then I'm just so tired. That's about all I've got, trying to cram my gaming life into 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. So right.
which is fine.
Yeah.
And my daughter plays in the mornings. We play a little bit together, so she certainly likes video games.
What is she playing?
She's playing Kena Bridge of Spirits right now. We've played it like 3 times, and we've watched playthroughs like 3 times. So she's playing it for the first time, mostly on her own.
Kena, what is it?
Kena, it's actually Kena, but Kena, Bridge of Spirits. It's like a third-person action game where you are trying to help these spirits on to the next life, basically. It's got a really, really cool story. So yeah, we just beat a Legend of Zelda game together, and then we moved on to this. She's streaming it, actually.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, from the PlayStation you can stream there's no camera or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just her gameplay, which it's really cool. I mean, the Undertale thing and other things I'm doing, I just love to have like that record.
Mm-hmm.
Love to go back and watch it, but it's cool to have a record of her playing through something.
Right, yeah.
So, and every once in a while she'll hand me the controller. I was like, I can't beat this boss, please help me. But otherwise, yeah, it's really fun to watch her grow into, liking some hobbies that I like.
Yes.
So having kids is cool. Having a kid is cool, I should say. If I had more than one, I'd be tired. But
yeah, one is enough for us as well.
Yeah, one and done. That was our motto. All right. Well, anything else about this section of Undertale?
No, I'm just very interested to see how it will wrap up.
Yeah, me too.
I'm also very curious about Deltarune.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because I had forgotten that there is more in this kind of universe, I think, at least. I'm going to Google that real fast. I think it is.
It says coming soon in Steam.
Yeah, but there's 2 chapters out already, I thought. Chapter 1 and 2 Chapter 1 and 2 are available now.
Oh, for free.
For free, yeah, they're free.
Oh wow, okay. Oh yeah, try the demo. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a status update last on September 2022. Looks like. And that was a year after Chapter 2 was released. So this is taking a long time.
This is one of those things that's probably never going to be finished.
Yeah, it's like a Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. Just never gets done. Much to hurt my heart.
I've given up on that. I mean, that was one of those things
God.
I love that series, or at least the first 3 books.
Yep.
And I mean, he's not interested in finishing writing it. So what are you gonna do?
Exactly. I mean, the last book came out 2011, I think. I've been in love with that book.
Long ago? Wow.
Yeah. Yes. And he had a hand in Elden Ring. I don't know if you played Elden Ring.
No, I heard it was very difficult.
It's the only FromSoft game that I've completed. So it has modifiers within the game world that make the pieces that are hard easier, either by you can just go somewhere else and do something else, or you can call people in to help you. And that's what I did at a couple sticky points.
You mentioned that before. That's right.
Yeah, I'm by no means a great video gamer. I feel like I'm pretty average, and I beat it. And that was like almost the crowning achievement of my gaming career is beating that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he helped on the story or something?
My friend came in and helped me with a story boss. I just couldn't get past this boss. And then once we got past that, then I got in the flow and got all the way to the final boss. And the final boss I could not beat because I was a melee build and suck. Apparently, I'm not great. So I could just not get close to the boss. And sorcerer builds have a lot better chance or even like anyone that can throw shit or shoot arrows or whatever. But I was pure melee, so I couldn't even get close. So I called someone in. But then the person I called in was a pure melee build with no weapons, just barehanded, and went up there and just demolished the boss barehanded. But I think they were like much higher level.
I should have done that.
So he came in, and it was really cool because he came in. We start near the boss, so I started hitting the boss, and then it just flew away from me. So he went after the boss and got it to like the very end of its health, and then I was able to get up to it. He did not take the final hit. He let me have the final hit. So I was like, all right, you know what? I've rolled credits. I myself have beaten 98% of this game. I will feel good about this. Right. But it's cool. It's a tool the game lets you use, so it's I'm going to use it. But yeah, this says that they're working on chapters 3, 4, and 5 of Deltarune simultaneously. And that was 2 years ago. So who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, next time on Undertale, we are going to, I assume this is what we're going to do, but every time I say this, we change what happens because we get surprised. New Home and Asgore. And I assume that's it, but who knows? We'll see. So thanks for tuning in. If you like our podcast, please rate it on your podcast service of choice. And we will be back next week with what we think is the end of Undertale.
Yay.